Hey, wrestling fans, welcome to the One Wing Wrestling Podcast, where we help you navigate the complex world of pro wrestling, bring you the best matches, world class wrestlers, and news you can count on. At One Wing Wrestling, we bring the elite to you. My name is Krishna and joining me, as always, is Mr. Bill Cuppush. Bill, how's it going?
It is going. It's going. Beautiful day out. Beautiful day. But
Hmm.
yeah, how are you doing?
Good, same. Beautiful day. Monday, busy days as always, but really nice weather. My ride's coming up in a couple weeks. Like 2 weeks actually to be precise. And I'm hoping for like listen, I'm not gonna complain. Like, no, the weather's been a little bit cool recently.
Mm-hmm.
I like that because that means the weather will be cool, hopefully, for my ride as well. And that's perfect. That's just perfect for me. So yeah,
Yep.
no, I'm doing good. Just beautiful day in the city.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Yes. And for those of you who haven't, I will include the link in this podcast again. Anyone who wants to donate to Krishna, he is doing this ride for a good cause, cancer. Um, it's the fight against cancer. He's doing a 200-kilometer bike ride. It's all for charity. 2 days, 200 kilometers, 2 centuries in a row. The man's going to kill himself
Insane.
to fight cancer.
Insane.
So, we're not spring chickens anymore, Krishna, though
Nope.
he's much younger than I am. But still,
It's gonna
that I
hurt.
could never do this, and I
I
I admire him for doing it, and the cause is worth it, guys. So,
on
man,
Saturday on my indoor trainer,
yep.
I decided to do 100 kilometers.
Mm-hmm.
It took me 3 hours. So I figured that, on the road, obviously, it's slower and stuff like that. It's probably
Yep.
gonna take as close as 5 to 6 hours. But man, it was the task. And that was one day, right? But
Yeah.
hey, as you said, good cause, something that we all can fight against. So yeah.
Yep. 100%. 100%. So today is our weekly show, OWW Weekly, and this is where we talk about the news of the week, and we talk to you about what happened in AEW on the week, what might have happened in Japan on the week, all that kind of good stuff. I'll give the Japan report. Krishna's got his AEW roundup, and we've got some news items, Double or Nothing press conference, Forbidden Door possibilities, Smash card update, all this kind of good
Mm,
stuff. So stick around. We're going to get to all of it. So you want to get into this now, Krishna?
let's do it.
Okay. Well, we have some notes from the Double or Nothing press conference from the pay-per-view yesterday.
Mm,
MJF was the first one out. He made a few points that I thought were kind of interesting. One, he did note at one point, and he did this whole thing in character, like dead on in character.
It was
He said,
so funny. It was
"Oh,
so
it
funny.
was funny. It was hilarious. If you guys haven't seen it, go watch this press conference. It's on YouTube." And MJF just said, you get more out of being a charismatic phenom than risking your life to pull off a move. And he was giving advice to other wrestlers at this point. He said, stop being fucking idiots. These people don't pay your salaries.
Mhm.
Grow up. He then said, when Forbidden Door was mentioned to him, he asked if he even had to wrestle on the show. He called New Japan a fucking indie fed and that their greatest legend couldn't lace his boots. New Japan Pro Wrestling sucks, except that great Okan guy. He also named Triple H and Nick Khan. He says he's bored of wrestling and he means the entire industry. So he may
Mhm.
just be done with wrestling. Go home
Yep.
and fuck up the lineage of this title, he said. Yeah, he made Tony Khan a little uncomfortable during that, but he kept turning to him saying stuff like, Tony, relax, take a deep breath. It's good. Or is it? So, yeah, anyway. So what'd you think of MJF's comments?
Oh, it was so good. Like the way he made fun of everyone, and then except for the what culture guys, he's like, what
Oh,
culture? He
yeah.
goes, they have the best podcast on, and I was like, did he just compliment them and just answer their question? I was like,
Yeah.
okay, he, oh my, he's so cool. He's so funny. The way
Mm-hmm.
he goes, dude, I don't know if you're looking at me right now because your eyes are like this. He's like,
Yeah.
which one am I looking at?
Yeah.
And then the other guy, he's like, type 3 diabetes over there. What do you
Oh,
want?
I know. It was
He
so
was just
mean. Yeah.
chewing up everyone. Alvarez stopped smiling at me. Like it
Yeah.
was it was so funny. But he got in, caused a bit
Mm-hmm.
of ruckus, called out CM Punk a little bit too. I don't know if you noticed that. He said he
Yeah.
goes, "I'm beating everybody." CM Punk, and he starts telling them, I'm
Yep.
like, "Good on you, MJF." And then he
Mm-hmm.
left,
Yep.
and that was it, right? So yeah, he did
Exactly.
good.
Yeah, no, it was pretty great. I enjoyed it a lot too. It was so funny. I was laughing my ass off during the whole thing. And with the comment on Alvarez, I'm like, I know Alvarez is smiling because this is hilarious.
Mhm.
Anyway, Orange Cassidy came out as well. He went to put his belt on the holder and the holder falls over. So he just chucks his backpack on top of the belt on the thing. He doesn't even bother trying to set the belt up. He was asked, how does he find the balance between turning it on and keeping it casual? And he says, I don't know. Sometimes I just got to do it. When he won the championship, he said his goal was just to beat Pac because that guy, he just does what he does. He was asked how he pays Trent back. Probably a title shot. I technically won, but I had a lot of friends in there. And he noted he wouldn't have had this championship without his friends. And he was asked about Forbidden Door. He says, I never want to wrestle. I wrestle when I have to. Who do I want to wrestle at Forbidden Door? Nobody. But there's a dude sneaking around ROH, calls himself a TV champion. Yeah, I'd fight him. And he was referring to Zack Sabre Jr. And he said he only wants to celebrate with the best friends and Chris Statlander in Vegas for about 5 minutes so he can go to bed and go to sleep. He also was asked, do you think you're one of the best in the world? And his answer was no, not even close.
Orange Cassidy. So awesome. Yeah, no, this also was a great, like, I like it when they stay in character. So that was this is pretty funny. Yeah, no, this was great. Him just saying basically, yeah, I'll just do this, do that. Like, it's funny because MJF was alternatively was like, I don't want to wrestle, I don't have to, and kind of comments on Orange Cassidy. Yeah, there's another guy here who likes to defend his belt every week. That's not me. And then Orange Cassidy's like, oh yeah, I'll fight every.
Yeah. Well, I like the way he went through it though. It's like he's trying to get the list done so he can stop fighting. Right. It's like, that's why I did the battle royal. I thought, okay, this must be the end of the guys, right? He turned to Tony and goes, are there more people? And Tony goes, yeah. He goes, oh, fine.
He's so freaking hilarious.
I know he's just trying to get them all over with because he's like, I don't want to fight anymore. But he keeps fighting people every week. Only one thing to note from Bryan Danielson, he had no idea Takeshita would be there. Which
is starting to make sense because even the reaction in the ring was like, who's like this guy here? Yeah. Right. So as I said, there's more. Like, this is a good storyline that's playing out. And yeah, Danielson's just funny. Like, I'm so glad he was in that match.
Oh yeah. No, he's just so good in the ring. But yeah. So yeah, those were the highlights of the press conference for me. Was there anything you wanted to add out of the press conference? I hit about everything.
No. I mean, Chris Statlander was there. I mean, she kind of just gave like her baby face kind of like, I'm back kind of thing. And they asked her about her injury and she said like she pretty much healed as she should have, and stuff like that. But yeah, no, besides that's about it.
Yep. Yeah, Tony Storm was there too, and she just basically talked quickly, more or less in character about where she's going now. So yeah, those were the things of note were the ones I said, especially the Forbidden Door implications. Zack Sabre Jr. against Orange Cassidy, perhaps. MJF not caring who he fights. Not wanting to fight at all. Anyway, note about we move on though to a note about AAA and Forbidden Door. It has been noted by Wrestling Observer that due to New Japan's working agreement with CMLL, AAA wrestlers cannot compete against New Japan wrestlers. So what does this mean? Well, the Lucha Brothers, Bandito, Commander, Vikingo, Rush, Andrade, and Dralistico cannot compete on Forbidden Door.
That's
even
terrible.
Though Vikingo is not an AEW wrestler, he's a AAA wrestler, so he will not be booked there. So yeah, some of the best wrestlers in AEW cannot participate in Forbidden Door. Somehow though, this doesn't affect Kenny, who wrestles at AAA and has been their champion, FTR, or Sammy, and Kenny will be having a match there against Vikingo coming up in a little while. But apparently it only applies to people who are Mexican.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I don't know. Yes. I read it and I didn't understand it. I'm like, okay, I guess that's the agreement. Sure. Okay.
Yeah, maybe CMLL is just concerned with the talent that, people would be more likely to know in Mexico and stuff like that. I mean, which is the truth, right? I mean, Rush is probably a lot more over than FTR in Mexico.
Yep.
Speaking of AAA, QT Marshall will make his debut for AAA on June the 18th. Amazing. Go QT.
Go QT, yeah.
Nope. Moving on to more Forbidden Door participation, Stardom participation on Forbidden Door, my topic, but wait, I'm gonna have to restrain because there may be a tear rolling down the side of my face right now. On a press call with Tony Khan on May 25th, he said he thought there was a good possibility of Stardom wrestlers on the show, but then he noted they have a 4-hour pay-per-view window and they're limited in their matches. Also, Stardom has a pay-per-view on June 25th. at Oto
Oh,
Ward Gym in Tokyo. It's called Stardom Sunshine 2023. This would make it very hard to send any of the top stars over to fight at Forbidden Door. Now, they don't need all of their top stars. Stardom
yep.
has a stacked roster. There's still some room, but Tony also said no match with Stardom. Oh, no, sorry. Dave Meltzer noted no match with Stardom is currently planned at Forbidden Door. Krishna,
Well,
can you
I
take
mean,
over for a second while I go over here and sob?
I mean, listen, I guess the biggest thing is that pay-per-view, right? That kind of sucks. But hey, as you said, you only need one or two wrestlers from Stardom because they're probably gonna have one or two matches there, right? So, I mean, I'm pretty sure Stardom can spare one person or two people for the show. I'm thinking that Tony will do something. I think, but even dropping Stardom like out there, making it known, it's like they have something in the works. They have to have something in the works. So I still believe Stardom's going to be there.
Well, if it is, I still think it'll be Mayu Iwatani with her IWGP Championship, and Willow Nightingale's got to defend that New Japan Strong title
Yeah,
on the pay per view,
yeah,
right? I wonder
yeah.
who her
That's true.
challenger will be, because who's maybe Momo Kogo comes in for a rematch. That would be pretty great. She's
Okay.
probably another one they could spare, and I've noticed she hasn't been on the shows for a little
Mm.
while, right? Like she hasn't really popped up much on Stardom recently. She may still be in North America. I don't know. Anyway, well, we also have some updates from the Smash card. As any of you who are regular listeners know, Smash will be putting on a show on June 25th downtown Toronto at the Rec Room right before Forbidden Door starts, and it starts at 11 o'clock with a show called Girls Next Door, which is Smash and Femme Fatale's wrestling. And we've already noted that Masha Slamovich, Vanessa Craven, Nicole Matthews, Alexia Nicole, Ali Ketch, Jody Threat, Miley, Mercedes Martinez, Nikita, Liza Hall, Kristar, and Casey Spinelli will all be there. They have finalized the list now. Also added to this card, we have Silesia Sparks, who we have seen at the last Smash event. We have Camille, who is a 30-year-old woman, American, been wrestling since 2017, the current NWA Women's Champion. She appeared at AEW during the July 28th, 2021 episode of Dynamite, where she watched the Bunny and Layla Hirsch compete against each other to earn a shot at her title. Layla Hirsch won that, but then lost the match against Camille in the NWA Empower show in 2021. We also have Trisha Dora, 34, American, wrestling since 2016. She served in the Army 8 years before getting into wrestling. She's wrestled for ROH, GCW, Progress, and AEW. Dark
Oh, okay.
Elevation, May 16th, 2022, where she lost to Mercedes Martinez for the ROH title. And she also lost to Riho on November 22nd, 2021. And finally, the last person, Mary Lee Rose, Canadian from Quebec, debuted in 2009 with Femme Fatales and has wrestled almost exclusively in Quebec since then. The first match was also announced. We have Mercedes Martinez taking on Masha Slamovich, which sounds like that'll be a pretty decent match.
Hmm.
So I'm looking forward to that. Defy in Progress, already announced Spike Trivet and Matt Cross. No others have been announced yet. We did have the Progress Super Strong Style 16 on the weekend, which featured Will Ospreay, Nick Wayne. In the first round, Will Ospreay, Nick Wayne, Shigehiro Iri, and Charles Crowley all moved on. Sadly, Maggot was eliminated. Second round, Ospreay was eliminated by DQ by Nathan Cruz, and Wayne, Irie, and Crowley were all also eliminated. Kid Lycos the second, number 2, because he's the second person to don the Kid Lycos gimmick, won the tournament today. He's a British wrestler who fights under a mask. Hence the whole, Kid Lycos 2. Defy is running Defy Your Nightmare next weekend, in which Nick Wayne faces Kenta for the Defy Championship. On June 24th, the day before this show, Defy is running what they're calling their biggest show ever in Portland, Oregon. At that show, Commander will be facing Vikingo.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yep. So that's where Commander and Vikingo will be on the weekend of Forbidden Door. So we will not be seeing them. Smash, by the way, has also announced another show, the Can USA Classic, July 22nd in London, Ontario. I note this because present at that show will be Maki Ito, who is amazing. Just thought I'd mention. Anyway, so that's what's going on with the Smash card. It looks like it's fine. The women's card at least is shaping up into some matches now. We have all the participants, but we're still waiting to see what's going on with Progress and Defy. So that brings us then. Do you have a dirt sheet for us this week?
No dirt sheet this week, unfortunately. Just
Oh, that's fine. We've
yeah,
had
no.
enough dirt the last few weeks before this to last us a lifetime. It's nice to just talk about some positive things and booking stuff, right? So that brings us then to our AEW roundup, Krishna.
Yeah, so AEW roundup basically just it's basically the Rampage report. Just and obviously
Okay.
we had a large I guess podcast where we talked about the results from the card on Sunday night. So
Mm-hmm.
check that out.
Yep.
But really it was just from Rampage this previous week. Some matches that obviously check out. Now obviously the La Faction Ingobernables
Ingobernable.
Ingobernables versus the Acclaim Billy Gunn. This match was good, but you knew who was gonna win. You know why they were gonna win. Because it obviously they challenged during
Mm-hmm.
for the pay-per-view. So yeah, hard hitting. I kind of wish better for like Roosh
Mm-hmm.
and Vance, and I guess Jalistico. No, what's his name? It is. I wrote it down. What was it? It was yeah, Jalisco.
Yes.
I got it right. Okay. Yeah, I mean this match was good. I mean the acclaimed are good, like La Faction and Gonabe, they're better, but they lost. Obviously, I mean there was no way that they were gonna win this, which is kind of weird after Roosh had such a great match against Jungle Boy 2 weeks ago. It was a little disappointing, but no, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. But so if you want to check out a match, you can check this one out. Also like they had like there were a couple matches on here. So Ethan Page and the Guns. Sorry, yeah, the Guns. Again, another match where I was like, I knew what was happening. Like it was all tying into the pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, yeah, it was okay. It was okay. Again, you could skip it. You don't have to watch it. The match that think was actually pretty fun was Big Bill and
Mm-hmm.
Lee Moriarty. They're getting a lot of TV time now, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
Versus Best Friends, just back and forth in this match. Like Big Bill plays that role of the big guy really good. And he's fast, he's athletic and stuff like that. Like he's just really good. The Best Friends, this is the match where again, check it out. This is the match where you knew it was going to happen because all they kept showing were the rest of the teams involved in the battle royale on
Mm-hmm.
Sunday around the ring. I'm like, wait. So are we trying to say these guys were here the entire time? Or did they just showed up for this one match? Were they like the Young Bucks hiding under the ring for the
Go for the
entire
entire episode
show
of yeah. Hey,
of Dynamite?
yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, you know what? Just to jump in just for a sec to interrupt your flow. Um, Being the elite when they showed this week when they had the Bucks under the ring the whole time. You know what? Kudos to them for at least saying, "Listen, we were under the ring the entire
Entire time.
episode. They showed them under the ring for the whole episode." I'm like, you know what? Good on you. At least you covered that off. You know,
Yep.
I'm less upset now about you coming out from under the ring because at least I knew you were there all
Yeah.
night.
The entire time. Yeah, it was
Yep.
pretty nuts. But yeah, this match was great until it obviously broke down, right? It was
Mm-hmm.
great until it broke down. But even when it broke down, it was fun. It was everyone versus everyone. I think the fun parts were like when everyone started fighting, and then Brian Cage comes out with the Mogul affiliates. Or wait, the Mogul,
Yeah,
what do they call it?
yeah, the Mogul,
Mogul
no, the Mogul Embassy.
Embassy.
Yes.
And he goes down, but he kind of gets taken out by what's his name, Keith Lee and Dustin Rhodes, and then Lee stares at Swerve, and they kind of just go to the back. I was like, whatever. Let's like you guys need to end your feud. But yeah, that was it. I mean, if you have a chance, check out the last match. It was great. Like I had a ton of fun with it. But obviously everything was a build
Mm-hmm.
to the weekend. So just remember that. If you're wondering why are all these weird things happening, it's a build to the pay-per-view, and the pay-per-view is worth watching. Check it out if you have a chance to.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, we give our recommendations of which 5 matches are,
Mhm.
go watch those, and the rest is, if you got time, watch it.
Typical, yeah.
Yeah, but pretty solid pay-per-view. 1 5-star match, people. One
Mhm.
5-star match. Krishna gave it 6.
I gave it 6, 1 6-star match.
Yeah. So that was Rampage this week. Yeah, it's and being the elite was good. It ended with them being sad The elite being
Mhm.
though the part I enjoyed the most on being the elite this week was of course the Dark Order trying to start their recruitment again. That was pretty great, and trying to
I love
recruit Trent and
Trent
Chuck.
and Chuck, and they're like, "Why did you guys make us watch this entire thing? Like, what was the purpose of this?" It was so funny. Like, they're
Yep.
so good. I love the fact where Evil Uno is trying to call Stu.
Yeah, because where
I've
the hell
called you
is Stu?
17 times. Where the hell is Stu? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good question to ask, right?
yeah, very good question. Where the hell is Stu?
Where the hell Stu? Yeah, he could have been one of the entrants in the 21-man battle royale,
Could have
but
been.
he wasn't.
No.
And you know what? Like, I hope everything's okay. I really do.
Hmm.
But again, our roster is getting bloated, so
Yeah, it's kind of weird that he's not there, but I did like the recruitment efforts on the best friends. Best friends are like, we're already in a group that's bigger than your
yeah,
group,
big
right? And then he starts like naming, like, we have Okada.
He's like, I don't even really know who we have in Japan anymore.
Yeah,
He's
I
like,
know. Do we have this guy? Yeah, it was funny. Anyway, yeah, so that was being the elite as well this week.
so good.
Yeah, no, it was. And that brings us to the Japan report. And I've only got a bit of news for you this week. Last week we had a very extensive report. This week it's a little slower. See, Stardom World put up almost nothing new this week. They're
Okay.
in one of those like I guess trying to get stuff ready. There's a bit of new stuff, so I got a couple matches for you. I'll get to those in a minute. But first, the best of the Super Juniors ended. As we left off last time, B Block was finished off with El Desperado and Master Wato advancing to the semis, joining Mike Bailey and Teton, who were already there last time we checked in. Mike Bailey faced Master Wato in the semis and lost to him. Teton defeated El Desperado to move to the finals himself, so we got the finals. Master Wato facing Teton, and this was the first time that a Mexican-born wrestler had been in the finals in a very, very long time. But Master Wato won the match to become the winner of the Best of the Super Juniors, and he will face Hiromu Takahashi for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship at Dominion on June the 4th, which is, of course, the same place that Will Ospreay will be facing Lance Archer to determine who will be the number one contender for the U.S. title. So that means, well, the thing is, I haven't seen it, that the Master Wato Teton match was really, really good, but I did not have time this weekend, of course, with the pay-per-view going on and Stardom to catch up on and all that kind of fun stuff for me to watch this match. But I will watch it before next week and get back to you on it because I've heard it's extremely good. Now for the matches in Stardom this week. I've got a couple that you might want to check out. These
Okay.
come from the Stardom and Chiba show on May 13th. We had Oedo Tai, Starlight Kid, and Ruaka taking on Suzu, Suzuki, and Seira in what is rapidly becoming one of my favorite tag teams in Stardom. May and SLK started off in an incredibly fast, high speed section. They do the usual going to tag out, but it's actually a ruse because May goes to do the tag and Suzu, like May runs back over, pulls SLK. Suzu takes Rock off the apron. They double team SLK down. May stomps on SLK's foot on the run. Like this is kind of May's thing. She will stomp a person's foot to prevent them from running. Ruaka trips her, but SLK is a seated drop kick, tags in Ruaka, who immediately chokes May with her knee before nailing her with a lariat for two. Ruaka is a big woman. She locks on a camel clutch, and SLK hits May in the face with a drop kick while she's being held in a camel clutch. It was nuts. Ruaka then hits a standing splash for two and tags in SLK, who immediately starts to stomp on May's foot after having her own stomp. And they actually engage in a foot stomp battle where they're both trying to stomp on each other's feet or like punch them and all kinds of stuff. It was great. But May ends up on an Irish whip, though. May dodges everything, nails a dropkick, tags in Suzu, drills Kid with two running knees. Ruaka interferes to no avail. Suzuki taking them both down, hitting another running knee in the corner. She drills SLK with a drive-by kick. You know that kick that Roman Reigns used to do?
Yep. Yep.
Suzu does it better with a drive-by kick, and she takes too long to pose, though, and SLK rolls her up for two. They fight back and forth, neither getting the upper hand on reversals till SLK. It's a flying crossbody and a standing moonsault for two. Ruaka tags in and runs Suzu over, basically landing a running senton for two. She locks on a crossface, but Suzu reaches the ropes. Suzuki immediately comes back with a spear, but Starlight Kid interferes and they hit an assisted crossbody, spiked vertical suplex, but Seira breaks up the pin. Ruaka and Suzu then reverse each other until May interferes and hits a springboard blockbuster on Ruaka. Suzu kicks her down, gets a 2. They hit a double team code breaker to Starlight Kid that just looked amazing. But Ruaka uses a gut punch, which gets nailed for the ref for that because you can't use closed fists in Japan, and a delayed fisherman vertical for a near fall. But Suzuki counters the next move with a roundhouse, nails the tequila shot on Ruaka, and gets the 3. Really fun match. All 4 were outstanding. Super fast, great moves. Highly recommended. The match was under 10 minutes. So all that I described to you occurred in under 10 minutes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, these women moved. Solid as heck. I would have given it 3 3/4 star. Totally worth checking out. And the main event on that card was Cosmic Angels, Tam Nakano, Natsupoi, and Saori Anou taking on Club Venus, Mina Shirakawa, Xena, and Waka Tsukiyama in this match. Waka, when Club Venus comes out, Waka just watches them dance. Like, this woman cannot dance, and she stands kind of behind them, and it's like she's looking at the moves and trying to kind of do them a little bit, like she's studying them for maybe trying to do them, like, you know, like a little kid would watch a dance and try to imitate some of the moves. It was hilarious. Weirdly, Cosmic Angels did not dance on their way to the ring. They just came out.
Okay.
Waka demands to start the match against Tam. She is soon triple teamed with a triple drop kick to her back against the ropes. Saori tags in. Saori Anou is rapidly becoming one of my all-time favorite wrestlers. She is freaking incredible, not only in the ring, but her character. She plays a character the way that Orange Cassidy and MJ, like this, she just never breaks it. Never breaks character. It's so good. Right? Tags in, drop toe hold into a running bridging chin lock into double knees to her back. I mean, this whole thing was just this fast sequence. Her bridges are insane, right? And then tags in Natsupoi. Natsupoi throws Waka by her hair. The ref is like scolding her, and she's like, "Oh, what? Sorry, okay, fine." And then immediately does it again, and then acts like a kid who's been caught with her hand in the candy jar. It was so funny. And then she does a snapmare seated drop kick to the back of Waka's head, follows for a 2. Waka counters the next round with a crossbody and tags Xena, then who kicks Natsupoi. Now Xena's a strong woman. Then hits a very fast spinning side slam on Natsupoi for 2. She struggled a bit with the military press to Natsupoi, but finally gets it off, covering her for 2. She tags Mina, and they hit a double seated drop kick for another 2. Natsupoi comes back with a kick and another running drop kick through the ropes. Tam is tagged in. Her and Mina exchange strikes, and don't forget, this is setting up. Tam and Mina are facing for a belt versus belt match that's already happened, FYI. But of course, the pay-per-view is not up yet on Stardom World. That'll be next week. Mina gets the better of Tam and locks on a figure 4 until Saori and Natsupoi beat her off. Mina keeps working Tam's knee, but Tam fires up. It's a backdrop driver and the violet shooting. She goes for the tiger suplex, but Mina kicks the knee out. Tam hits a roundhouse. Both are down. They tag out to Waka and Saori. Waka hits a drop kick, but Saori escapes the pin, kicks her down. She goes to the top, but Xena takes her off the top to turnbuckle to the apron, then lands a Gamengiri, sending Saori to the floor. Waka then nails a diving crossbody to Saori on the floor. Xena uses Mina to hit a slam on Saori back in the ring. Like, she picks Xena up and then slams her. You know how the Lucha Brothers will do that sometimes? Waka covers her, but Kazan breaks it up. Waka goes for the hammerlock suplex, but Saori fights out. Meltier kicks her down. Saori does a jackknife for 2, then a missile drop kick for 2. I mean, she's just like, everything's just bang on. She goes for the fisherman suplex, but Waka fights out, and Mina nails her with like a hell of a forearm, allowing Waka to do a double underhook bridge pin, but Tam at the last second breaks it up. All 6 women now are fighting in the ring together as it breaks down. Kazan hits triple bridging Germans in the 2 count for the one that was done by Saori to Waka. Saori then hits the perfect plex, and I mean, it was perfect. She hits the perfect plex for another near fall. Then she nails what she calls the poti ring for the 3. Now, this is like this bridge where she bridges over top of the person in a jackknife and holds down all 4 pieces of the person's body with various of her limbs. It is the craziest pin I've ever seen in my life, and it's like her finishing move pin, and I have yet to see anyone kick out of it. It's just crazy. And of course, then, you know, they finish it off with Tam getting the mic. She yaks at Mina for a bit, telling her, you know, you're on a losing streak since winning that belt. Your unit must be lacking. But then Mina just cuts into Tam, saying, you know, I'm going to end your dream. Game's over. Tam just stands there in total silence while they leave. And then when the minute they're gone, she totally turns on the whole, hi, everybody, and closes the show with Cosmic Angels. But what I love is basically Saori Anou, when they start doing the whole kawaii Cosmic Angels thing at the end, she's Orange Cassidy. She's 100% Orange Cassidy. They're all doing the gestures, and she's just like, You know, I mean, I demonstrate them, but no one would see them. It is so funny. You've got to see. I got to show it to you at some point. It is hilarious. So yeah, I'm laughing my ass off watching her with this, and Natsupoi keeps calling her out like, "This is how you do it," and she keeps pointing to Tam, going, "She's not doing it." It's so funny. Anyway, yeah. So that was it's totally worth checking. It was a great match. There's so much going on. Sorry, and it was just phenomenal. But that's Stardom for this week. There will be a ton of Stardom next week once that pay-per-view goes up, people, because we have the Mina Shirakawa versus Tam Nakano, white belt versus red belt. So someone's got both belts right now. Anyway, that brings us to our match of the week. Is there any discussion needed here, Krishna?
No. Match of the week is the Four Pillars match. MJF, Sammy, Jungle Boy, and Darby. Yeah, easily match of the week.
Yeah, I mean, what else are we going to say? You guys want to hear all about it? Our Double or Nothing podcast will be up by the time you guys hear this too. So, yeah, it was a phenomenal match, 5-star match. I can't think of anything else that came close to it this week. And I saw, as usual, lots of good wrestling. Nothing on Dynamite, nothing I saw on Stardom, even though there was good stuff. You know, nothing. Of course, I haven't seen the Master Wato Teton match, but if I do see it and it's great, that'll be next week. So this week, Four Pillars match, great match. Wrestler of the week.
I'm gonna cheat a bit here because I don't think
cheat.
I'm definitely gonna cheat because I'm definitely I think the all four pillars is their wrestler of the week. They earned it. Those four guys. It wouldn't have been as exciting if either one of them would have been out. It just made sense. The story, everything they sold, even Jungle Boy. When I thought he was gonna turn, and he doesn't turn. At the end of the day, he doesn't turn. So, and he again, he cost Darby the belt, right? So like, there's a lot of things that are going on here. These four were top of their game, like fantastic.
Yep. Hey, I would agree with you, except in a fatal four-way between four wrestlers who all qualify for match, someone's got to win the match, Krishna. Someone's got to win.
That's true.
So I decided I had to pick one of these four. And it's going to be one of these four because these were the four best wrestlers over the week. And I picked Sammy Guevara. And I'll tell you why. Because when I think about the match and I think about the spots that I was like, those were just freaking amazing. The timing, the dives, the speed. Yes, he was surrounded by three guys that were all 1Bs to his 1A. And I just thought he put on what I would call just slightly like 2% better performance than the other, just 2%. 2%. Right? Yeah, 2%. Now, character work, MJF had him do.
Yeah.
Right? When it came to like death-defying, Darby Allin's presence, sure. But when it came to just sheer ability in that ring, excitement factor, everywhere at once, the dude hit everything. Some of those cutters where he caught guys, his topes, it just, he's just nuts. He's amazing. That Spanish fly off the top rope to the floor. Oof. I mean, my God, man, this guy, when he does stuff, he's absolutely crazy. He's crazy and such a good wrestler. So that's why I had to pick him as the wrestler that to me stood out just that little bit above the other guys.
Fair enough.
Yep.
I love Sammy Guevara. So
yeah, he is the best. Well, it looks like we had a bit of a shorter show today, but it was. I mean, we had the big pay-per-view on the weekend, so I think it only makes sense. There wasn't quite as much going on this week. We didn't have a bunch of CM Punk stuff to talk about.
I know, that's true. It's very true.
Yeah.
That's for next week, probably.
Oh yeah, probably. I'm sure something will happen. Anyway, yep. So that does bring us to the end of our weekly show, guys. And as the great one always says, goodbye, everybody. Mwah, and good night. Bang.
Good night, everyone.